Didn't really understand until kids in the kibbutz start to write in the WhatsApp groups messages. You know, somebody shot mom, somebody shot dad.
Were they together when you last saw them? Were they close together?
Lianne was in our room, tried to get dressed, and Noiya and Yahel in the kitchen. I understand Arabic, so I understood everything they said. So I understood they're going to kidnap me. So I just, turned my head back to my girls and shout them, I'll come back. That was the last time I've seen them. My mission was to survive, and I didn't care what they're going to do to me. I didn't care how much they are going to humiliate me. I'm going to survive to come back to my wife and my daughters.
I'm here in Israel today talking with Eli Sharabi, who after the 7th of October spent 491 days as a captive of Hamas under the tunnels of Gaza. When Eli came out, eventually in February, he weighed 44 kilos, which was about the same weight as his younger daughter. So lots to say today. Eli, it's great to meet you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Genuine privilege to meet you. Your book, Hostage, tells the harrowing and deeply moving story of that period of captivity, a sort of scarcely credible tale of man's inhumanity to man. What do you hope that readers of the book will learn from it?
That even in very, very dark moments, you can find a bit of light, and faith. It's not something that comes easily. It's something you need to work on. And every one of us have the capability of to survive something like that. You just really, really need to tell yourself why you're doing this and who for, and it will become very natural to fight for life after you understand who you're fighting for.
Can we go back to before October the 7th? You were living in Kibbutz Be'eri, which is 3 miles away from Gaza on the southern Israeli border. You were living with your wife, Lianne, who was British born, and your daughters, Noiya, 16, and Yahel, 13. It was a pretty beautiful place to live, wasn't it?
It was amazing. It was a piece of heaven. It was the best place to raise the Noiya and Yahel, and they had great childhood. We had simple life there. We are very concentrated on our jobs, so it was all for us like really, it was perfect, maybe too perfect, until it wasn't.
You have a very strong British connection. Lianne was British and came across as a volunteer to the kibbutz, spied handsome young Eli from afar, suggested to someone she had a bit of a crush on you, and you got together. And looking at the story, I thought she must have loved you very much to give up a life in Bristol. Tell me about that.
It was a love at first sight. I met her and we fell in love, and we've been together a few years in the kibbutz. We went to a big trip around the world, to Australia and New Zealand and Thailand, and we had great time. And then we got married. But she's been 28 years in the Kibbutz Be'eri. In all these years, she was very, very proud of the British,
She was not Jewish, was she?
She wasn't Jewish.
No.
And she was very, very proud of her. She came from England and used to, we had a lot of sense of humor about the Israelis, about the behavior of Israelis.
Like what? What did she think?
Well, they are rude, and of course, but she loved the warm here, about the people, about their characters, and she loved the kibbutz
You learnt Hebrew quickly.
very quickly, very quickly.
You told me you used to fight in English.
When we argue in English. All the rest was in Hebrew.
And the girls spoke.
The girls spoke both.
And used to spend every Christmas
With
Lianne's family.
Yes, yes. They loved every minute of that. They loved England. They loved their British family.
So there was this very idyllic, trustworthy environment, people in and out of each other's houses.
Yes, great community in the Be'eri. It's an amazing community, all caring each other, and we felt very, very good there. We both have very good jobs, that we enjoy that.
So let's come to the 7th of October 2023, just waking up, normal family things, everyone in their pajamas, dog running around. And then there was an alarm.
Yes, well, we woke up from this alarm, 6:29 a.m. I remember that. There's a risk that there will be missiles for some time, but this time it was all surprise. We picked up the girls, took them to the safe room.
Just to say that the safe room is designed to protect you from things coming
missiles,
in from
yes.
missiles, not from anyone coming into. No,
of course.
So you're there, and gradually WhatsApp messages are coming in from the community saying terrorists have come in.
Yes, they're suspicious of infiltrating of Hamas terrorists, and they asked us to stay in the safe room, not to go out. I promised the girls and to Lianne, Noiya and Yahel, that the army will arrive as always, so not too worried. And after that, we've seen some videos that come through the television from Sderot, from Ofakim, from the Nova Festival. Yes. We've seen that, and still we didn't understand it's coming massively to the kibbutz.
There was one lovely detail in the book where you say you left a safe room to make English breakfast tea, because that was your family tradition.
Yeah, it was something like 5 minutes of a break from these alarms, and I went to make them to drink and to calm them down. And as I said, we didn't really understand what is coming, so we haven't been very worried until kids in the kibbutz start to write in the WhatsApp groups messages. Somebody shot mom, somebody shot dad, our house is burning, they're trying to break in, and all these messages. And we were in shock. And when we started to see these messages arrive a little bit closer to our neighborhood, the west side of the kibbutz, very, closest to Gaza, me and Lianne made a decision. But we said we're not going to fight. We presume I'll be kidnapped or they kill me, but their British passport will protect them.
Yeah.
That was the main important thing.
And Lianne and the girls had British passports.
Yes, yeah. And it was very important for us. After more than 4 hours in the safe room, they eventually arrived to our house. We start to hear some windows breaking and start shouting inside the house in Arabic and Hebrew a little bit. They arrived to the safe room very quickly. They opened it very easily, and our dog barked, and and they started to shoot. Lianne jumped on Noiya, jumped on Yahel, covered them, and shouted them to stop. We said to them immediately that they have a British passport. It's in the second floor. And
how many are in the house?
Something like 10 terrorists. In the beginning it was 5, and after that another 5.
Yeah.
So 2 of them grabbed me. 3 or 4 of them took Noiya and Yahel to the kitchen area, and the rest waited that Lianne will get dressed because she was undressed because we jumped from the bed, and she was very confused. She was terrified, and some of them understood that they have English passport and almost sent me to the second floor to bring them, to show them that. But their commander in this unit said to them no, and to take me out from the house. I understand Arabic, so I understood everything they said. So I understood they're going to kidnap me. So I just, turned my head around to them, back to my girls, and shout them, I'll come back. That was the last time I've seen them.
Did you think if I go that they would be protected more by you deciding not to sort of make a fuss?
Yes, well, we believe that if you're not going to fight with them, they'll stay calm. There's, no reason why to murder women and two children. And of course, because I'm an Israeli, they can kill me or will kidnap me. They will not leave me. That was sure.
Yeah.
And it's looked like all this plan is going well, because it was very calm in the house. Lianne and the girls were terrified, but they haven't been hysterical or something like that. They didn't shout or. So
were they together when you last saw them? Were they close together?
Lianne was in our room, tried to get dressed, and Noiya and Yahel in the kitchen. So that's the last time I've seen them. And if I knew it's the last time, I would probably say different things. I probably would fight. That's what I thought about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yes.
I'm sure you've rerun it in your mind.
Of course.
We should say that many of the kibbutzes were very badly affected, but your kibbutz was a scene of medieval slaughter, right? Wasn't it?
When they kidnapped me, it was just the beginning of this neighborhood because it was just one house that got burned, and I've seen it. It was Yonat and Or. Yonat is a good friend of mine, but I've seen at least 100, 150 terrorists coming in and out from every house. Nobody's bothering them or fighting with them. And they were celebrating, laughing, filming themselves, riding bikes that they stole from houses.
Yeah.
So I was in shock. I remember I was in shock. I presume nobody left from the army or the guys from the kibbutz that
The security.
the security, yes,
Yeah.
team of the kibbutz, probably all of them dead.
But these terrorists, they were enjoying themselves, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They were very happy. They were. It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're dragged away and then you're taken across the border into Gaza. That's
Yes. They pushed me in the back of the car that they stole from Be'eri. I recognized this car, and then they covered my eyes. And after 200 meters, the car stopped. They put someone above me.
on top of
on
you.
top of me.
Yeah.
Yes. And another 15 to 20 minutes drive until our first stop in Gaza. So I understood we are still in center of Gaza.
And there were feverish crowds of people, very excited, like a mob.
Mob of civilians, yes.
But you were a trophy for Hamas to be protected from the mob. Is that
Yes,
right?
So, but when the first moment they took me out from the car, this mob tried to lynch me. But fortunately, Hamas terrorists succeeded to take me into the mosque, undressed me there, and start to ask questions in Arabic.
And you speak. You
I
had
speak-
an advantage.
yes.
You speak Arabic.
I speak Arabic, and they were very surprised. They were sure I'm from MI5, and they were sure I'm younger than the age I'm telling them. I said to them I'm 51 years old. and they saw that the other guy that's been kidnapped with me, it was a Thailand worker.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
his name was Kon, and he didn't understand them. He was mainly cried, and they got frustrated with him. So I tried to like to speak for him. So from there, you know, we did another 3 or 4 stops, changing teams, changing cars, to confuse the IDF, and arriving finally to a Palestinian house of a regular family that the father for sure was from Hamas. And I've been there with Con for 52 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something very striking you say in the book, that you said that basically regular Ellie now had to become survivor Ellie.
Yes.
And what shines through the book actually is that you weren't a soldier, but you had a sense of mission.
Yes. My mission was to survive, and I didn't care what they're going to do to me. I didn't care how much they are going to humiliate me. It was a lot of humiliation moments in captivity. I said to myself, zero ego. I don't care how much they're going to hit me, or, you know, I'm going to survive to come back to my wife and my daughters.
That first period was obviously frightening, but then after the 52 days, then they moved you, and you knew you were going down into the tunnels. What
Yes.
was your reaction to that?
You know, after 48 days, we understood the first ceasefire had been signed, and they explained to us about the women and children.
Because the women and children were being released at that
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
You were shocked,
I was
Ellie,
shocked
that how many women and children
many,
had been
you know,
taken.
when I didn't really expect one of them.
Yeah.
But they said it's something like 50 of women and children. So I was really in shock, but I was very optimistic that you know, my turn will arrive after that as well. I didn't believe somebody will want to, you know, to continue fighting. I was sure that both sides have the interest to finish it. But it was very, very naive, you know, to think like that. At that time. And they said to us, okay, we need to move you to other house, better house, for your own good. That will be more protected. And again, I believe them, I don't know why. And after 20 minutes walk, we arrived to a mosque again, and they took us to a side room, and they opened this door in the ground, and told us to climb down on the ladder. And of course I refused. It's looked like really the perfect grave for me. It's looked like my worst nightmare, to climb down into the darkness.
Yeah.
And took their gun and pointed to my head. And I just remembered that moment, my promise to my girls that I'll come back. So we climbed down. It was me and Almog Saoussi, a guy that arrived a day before to the house I've been. And then we met Hirsch Goldberg and Ori Danino,
Yes.
and Elia Cohen and Or Levy and Alon Noel.
So just to say, there were hostages being brought together, and Hersh and Almog
Yes.
they had been fleeing from, they'd been at the Nova Festival, and they were...
All 6 of them have been been kidnapped from the Nova Festival.
yeah, yeah. And they were much younger, weren't they?
They were half of my age.
Yes.
Only Or had, was married and had a little child, but all the rest of them were single and very young. Yes, but suddenly I'm with 6 other Israeli hostages, and you feel very like a belonging, like a connection, and you can speak Hebrew, and you can laugh, you can tell everything you want, and everybody understand you. And that was very good for us. It was very optimistic moment, even in the dark.
Yeah. I really liked your insight that because you, as a father of two teenagers, had already learned to be self-sacrificing, whereas the younger men were obviously unaccustomed to the idea of, they always used to looking out for themselves. And that was, do you think that was part of your strategy, was understanding that you were going to have to make these sacrifices?
Yeah, I haven't expected that any one of them, that half of my age, will have the same tools I have and the same experience that I have from life. And I understood I have a bigger role there than just to be Eli.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I took this role. As always, I take responsibility for things, for situations, and for people. I used to do it before October 7 in the kibbutz, in my jobs, and I was willing to do that as well for them, because you feel very worried about them.
Can you just describe for us what this cell or this area you were held in was like? I mean, it's quite low. It's very dark.
It's dark. Sometimes it's a little bit of light from batteries. It was 2 rooms, one for the terrorists, one for us. They gave us very thin mattresses. We've been chained. Sometimes it wasn't enough chain for each one of us, so we were chained to each other, legs. It was very humiliating, to go to the bathroom with someone else.
And sometimes you were stripped and...
Yes, we were stripped. They been, checking our body and all this, that we didn't make anything to attack them. You ask permission to speak, you ask permission to go to the bathroom. You depending, all your life and destiny depending of their how much they want to help you, or how much food they want to give you. It's not a very good feeling to lose your freedom.
No, to say the least. So Hirsch and 1 or 2 of the others, they were removed.
Yes, after 3 days been with us, they woke them up 6 o'clock in the morning and said to them, "You are going home." So we presumed that the women and children were finished, and now it's all the guys, all the hostages that injured, that's their time. So again, we were very jealous about that they are going, but it was a very optimistic as well that this continue, and next it's our turn. But unfortunately, Hamas and Israel continue fighting a day after that. After they left us, we were sure they're home. All these 14 months, we haven't, until the day of the release, until Ohad Ben-Ami, that we met him just before we were released, told us they've been murdered in other tunnel with other 3 hostages. But one of them is Carmel got from Be'eri as well. So it was all shocking for me.
So there were the 4 of you now, this sort of little unit. The book goes into a lot of detail about the terrorists, the captors.
Yes.
And it's really fascinating, Eli, because, I suppose people think of just Hamas, right? Okay, this uniform bunch of, crazy, frightening people, and they were crazy and frightening, but they were also individuals, weren't they? So tell us about some of the individuals.
When you live with them 24/7, you start to understand at the end of the day, it's individuals in all this organization. Most of them are brainwashed. that they don't know much about Israel or Israelis.
Well, one of them said, "You're really nice, but all Israelis
yes,
are horrible."
they were sure that except of me, other 9 million just want to kill them every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Just Eli Sharabi is fine with them.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So just show you how much little they know about Israel and Israelis. And they're all brainwashed, mostly the young people, because the oldest terrorists used to work in Israel when it was time that they could work here in Israel. So most of them worked in Israel and the new Israelis, and they understood more than the young guys. We start to analyze them and to understand that it's not a very good idea to ask anything or try to talk with them when they are together, because they're trying to show each other how they are Hamas, better Muslims or better cruel to us or something like that. But they were on their own. You start to talk with the person, and you start to know you, and you start to get used to you, and sometimes he has compassion to you, and we use it for our benefit.
Yes. You said
So
there was
we
one
tried.
guy, Saeed, who you said you could imagine in another life he might have been a good friend.
Yes, of course. He used to save us from time to time, give us more food when everybody didn't see. When they went to pray, he said to them, "I'll come in a minute." And in the meantime, he gave us another half pita bread for all four of us. And sometimes they said to him, "Give them just this pasta," and he just took more from their plate and gave us more.
And you were like psychologists, or you were using your skill as a person to spot personality traits that would enable you all to survive. Is that right?
Yes. As I said, we analyzed all their behavior. We said it was good for us, it was bad for us, in what time you can ask more food, or how many times a day you can ask to go to the toilet without them will be upset with you. So all these things, you think about it all day, you try to manage and get control about a very uncontrolled situation.
Now, so you're not a religious person.
I'm not.
But the four of you, Elia and Allon, very sensitive young man, a pianist in his previous life. Now, it was such a moving moment, Eli, because you had a fixed ritual at the end of the day, didn't you?
Yes. I understood that that it's okay to say, don't lose your faith in all this, but I wanted to show them as well that if you think positive, good things happen to you and positive things happen to you. And sometimes you don't really pay attention to these good things. And we started to do some like a ceremony every night that what good what anything good happened to you today. And you have to say, at least one thing. So it was very difficult in the beginning. It started, that the guy that is very cruel to us didn't give us food today. It was somebody else. So that was a good thing. It was a very good thing.
Yeah.
The tea was with the sugar this time, or with a little bit of honey, or they give you, I don't know, that you succeed to sleep without nightmare this night, or somebody makes you laugh today, or it was the day that we got shower, that it was once in 6 weeks.
Yes.
So it was a very good day for us.
Yes.
It was like a holiday for us. And believe me, after something like 2 or 3 weeks, each one of them find 4 or 5 things that very good happened to him in the same day. And it was like a muscle that you train. That's how you stay optimistic.
With Allon Ohel, who was very, I think he's 23 or 24 now.
Yes.
A young musician.
He's 24 now.
He's 24 now. It's a very moving relationship, and he becomes like your son, doesn't he? And he was obviously helped by you, but did it give you strength and courage to have to be the father figure he needed?
Yes, well, that was a very meaningful moment for me, that I understand that I need to help someone. So I think after 1 hour, 2 hours of talking with Alon, I understood we have the same values. We have lots in common. We love scuba diving, both of us. I used to work in a place that his office is there. And lots of things, you know, his brother used to work in Be'eri. And we found loads of in common. And his birthday in February as well is February 10th, and I'm February 13th. Lots of things.
So with the four of you, it's incredible. You basically download each life into your head, right?
Yes.
So you, without ever having met these people's families or loved ones, you could give me a really great account of all their lives, couldn't you?
Yes, because we spoke about, each one of us spoke about his life, his friends, his family, his job, his hobbies, anything. So I know all the details of all Alon's family and all this. So, you know, dates and what they like to eat, and where everybody's, you know, working or, yes, or living. So I knew a lot.
You would probably, if we're looking for bright spots in this terrible, terrible experience, you may never normally, apart from with really close family, ever know anybody as well as you knew them. Is that right?
Yes. It's amazing when I went out, you know, just telling them all these details that he told me. And
so when you got out,
Yes.
you were able to, you said to Alon, who was obviously devastated, you were leaving him, you said, I'm going to ring your family, and you rang them and you were able to tell them
Yes.
about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I've done on the same day of my release. I think after a few hours in Sheba Hospital, I did 2 phone calls, one to Lianne's parents, and the second one was to Alon's parents. It was very emotional phone calls.
Yes. Yes.
It was my moral duty to do that for Alon's parents, because I knew that they are very worried about him, and it was very important for me to say to them that he's capable to survive this hell on his own, and it's not the same Alon they know, that is stronger, and he will survive and come back to them.
I want to talk now about the hunger, because things were between you pretty good. You had got control of the situation, and then there was less and less food. What starvation does to a person in terms of how you hold on to a moral code, because no one wants to be pushed to the absolute limit of what a person can stand if they're hungry, right?
Yes, yes, I can understand that. You know, you're very, very hungry. You know, it's the worst thing in captivity. You don't mind about humiliation. You don't mind to be chained. You don't mind that they use violence against you. Sometimes, you know, it was one time they broke my ribs, and I said, okay, you can break my ribs another 2 weeks again. Just give me food. So
you'd rather have broken ribs than be hungry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Because we knew that was the basic thing that we can survive on, you know, food.
So you're getting tiny bits of pitta and maybe a tiny...
1.5 pita bread a day. And it was a very good day, because it could be a bowl of pasta instead of 1.5 pita bread, or can be a bowl of rice, and both you cannot keep for the night. 1.5 pita bread, you can take half pita bread and keep it for the night.
Yes.
And
you said you like to have a tiny bit of pitta to put in your stomach
before you sleep.
Before you sleep.
Yes, it was very important. So that's very good day. So it's one thing that you can mention at night.
Great thing to celebrate in the good things that have happened.
This pita bread without you know, this green thing on the pita.
Yes.
That you know, from the wet.
Yeah.
That's a very good
But
thing.
so meanwhile, the captors would be saying to you, if you recite X verses of the Quran, we'll give you a slice of fruit.
Yes, they try to bribe us. Mostly, they try to divide us, that we not stay united, and they suggest us from time to time to one of us just a little bit of food, and we talked about this between us as a group, and we said that we need to say to them, if you give me, you need to give to everybody. This is one thing, and they really respect that. After we said to them that.
Yes.
They tried to bribe us to say some sentences from the Quran for a little bit of clementine or half, biscuit, but we refused again. It was like a small victory of us as as Israelis, as one group.
Yes.
And it was very, very small victory for us. But
to try and stay civilized, in a deeply uncivilized situation. Yes. In your evidence to the United Nations, you talked about the humanitarian aid. There have been big questions about the humanitarian aid going into Gaza, but you describe seeing United Nations boxes of food that the terrorists were sitting there eating while you was being starved.
Yes. Dozens of boxes, every one, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. They bring dozens of boxes into the tunnels.
Yeah.
And
so this is Hamas stealing the
from,
aid
from his own people.
From his own people.
From his own people, all this food. And in the meantime, we ate 1 meal a day. They had 4 or 5 meals a day. But again, we were very happy from this humanitarian aid that coming into the tunnels, because it gave us the opportunity or that we can ask more,
Yeah, I mean, there was what I think would be defined as torture in terms of wanting to go to the toilet, them playing around with you, making you stand and wait, and then ridiculing you and so on.
Yeah, it was almost, I've done my, my own urine on myself, and this time they understood I'm very serious, because I told them it's going to happen in a minute.
You're going to pee yourself.
I'm pee myself, and then the oldest guy there stand up and really shout on the other guys that stopped us to go to the toilet, and so that was kind of arguments between the old and the young people.
Can I ask you a bigger question? You've unusually for an Israeli, for a Jew, you've had the opportunity to view these Hamas, these people absolutely up close over many months. Can you see any way that there's any room for a sort of, a kind of coming together with their attitudes to you? What would it take, Eli, to stop? Because the cruelty and the hatred.
I don't know what should happen that we can live, together and peacefully. I'm quite sure it's all about education, because kids there, since they're really 6, 7 years old, they start to understand for them that the Israelis are the bad guys and they want to kill them every day, and that's how they grow up. And all this brainwash should stop, and the only way is to give them the knowledge they need, really. Like,
you did say that you thought that quite a few of them were just there because being in Hamas was economically an advantage, right?
Of course, for them they pay their salaries.
Yeah.
So I cannot say that all Hamas terrorists that's what they wanted to be in life.
Yeah.
Because this is the situation, So someone that paid them salary, they control all the money, they control the weapon, they control everything in Gaza.
Having said that, there were some of the captors who were playing on a loop. Obviously you could hear they were playing the body cam footage of the 7th of October massacres with all the terrible. So
yeah, some of them are very religious, and they, I don't know, sickly. Were very happy to watch these films on the laptop, and you could hear screams of people, and that was awful. Awful for us to hear. They knew we can listen to that. Sometimes they put the volume very high that we can hear that.
So you could
hear.
It
was kind, a part of the psychological terror that we they used against us. That we can feel, worse the same day. So
so it's fair to say you were witnessing the extremes of human behavior in there, how people can be civilized under the worst conditions, and also the horror and cruelty that they're capable of as well.
Exactly. But even the guys that helped us and all this, if he would get any order to shoot us, he would do it, without hesitation.
There's a quote here: "They dreamt of establishing an Islamic empire that will conquer the whole world. In their minds, there is no such thing as Israel, no such thing as France, Sweden, or Britain. The whole world should be Muslim." So I'm interested in, do you think that what you were enduring, it's a bigger question, isn't it, whether what's going on there is the free world's fight as well as Israel's fight?
Well, I think it is. Well, in any discussion we had with them, they said Israel is just the beginning. All the world should be Muslims. And every time. Before that, they said in Israel, when it's finished the war, okay, it will finish, but we come again on 26, 27, 28, and if we see you this time again in Be'eri, this time we kill you and not kidnap you. And we don't care how much it will take, 100 years, 200 years, until we get our land. And after that, we'll go to France and Britain and the United States and whatever, because all the world should be Muslim.
I want to come now to the release. You're told that 3 of the 4 of you are going to be released, but Allison, who we've mentioned, would be left behind, waiting for phase 2. That was yes. a painful moment.
It was a very complicated moment, because you imagine this moment for 491 days. You imagine this moment hundreds of times. That it will be the moment that somebody come and say to you, "Well, you're going home today." And you imagine that. You imagine how much you're going to be happy from this.
The relief, just the relief.
Amazing, But, after he said that me and Or and Eli are going home in the next few days, and to Allison he says, "You're going to be on phase 2." Allison was very hysterical. He had a panic attack. So we tried to calm him down, and that became a very complicated moment for us instead of a very happy moment. And and again, Or and Eli, we were, smiling and happy and all this. So I said to them, "Calm down, please. There's Allison here, and you just heard that he's not going to be released with us. So please respect him."
I was thinking today, as I was coming to meet you, that it's a beautiful day here. The sea is sparkling, beautiful fresh air, and Allison is not very far from here in that
50 meters underground.
50 meters underground. And there was a proof of life video of him about a week ago, wasn't there?
Yes.
How did you feel, Ellie, seeing this young man who's become your practically adopted son?
Again, very complicated, because I miss him a lot, and I want him to be released and to be with his family. And of course, after that with me. But I was happier than I was before that, because he's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive, and he survived. And
It will be a, please God, he comes out. It will be a Shawshank Redemption moment, won't it? You'll be
Yes.
outside. You'll be out.
Yes.
You'll be able to be together.
yes, of
Maybe
course.
have a beer. Or
Of course, we promised each other a lot of things, and that we are going to scuba diving in Thailand together, and we'll make Moroccan fish together and all this, and I'm sure we will do it. But I was very, very, very happy because it's I said to his parents, he can do it, he can survive.
Yeah.
The day I was released, and to see him 6 months later,
still.
still there and survive, it's amazing for me.
Yeah. Can we just come to the handover? So you're getting ready to be handed over. Everyone will have seen these quite grotesque ceremonies on the TV with the hostages paraded, often looking pretty terrible, and the Hamas people all looking very well fed for starving people, I must say.
Yes.
And the cheering crowds. You were prepared you were prepared by them for that.
Yes, the same morning they woke us up in 5 o'clock in the morning. We've done 3 hours of rehearsals of Q&A that they made, in advance, and
Like what? Like
they said to us, each one of you have 3 questions. We'll ask you this, you answer this, you ask you this, and we made rehearsals. They asked and we answered. We asked,
right.
and they said to us, if you not answer the same that we just practice now,
Right.
we will shoot you or something like that.
Yeah.
We didn't believe they will do that, and we said to ourselves, it's our last humiliation to go on this stage.
Yeah. Compared to being made to stand
we
waiting.
don't care that it will be the last humiliation. At least we will see the Red Cross, there, and we know another 15 minutes, half an hour, we'll be home.
Because there has been some criticism of the hostages parroting these pro-Hamas messages, but people don't understand the pressure you were under.
Anyone that have a little bit of brain and of wisdom understand it's all fake, and
Yeah.
I didn't care
Yeah.
to say whatever they want me to say.
Before that moment, the senior commander had said to you that your brother Yossi, who'd also been kidnapped from the kibbutz,
It was the 2 days before the release.
had been killed.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was February 6th. It was Thursday. He approached me with his phone and showed me Yossi's photo and asked me to identify him. And he asked me if I know where is he. I said, okay, of course, he's in the Kibbutz Be'eri. And he said, no, he was kidnapped as well on October 7, and he was killed. And he was very with a little bit of smile on his face. And I waited that he will go from me, and I said to Ohad I don't trust him, I don't believe him. Maybe he found this photo on Facebook or something like that. But Ohad used to watch television once a week, the place he's been,
Right.
not like us.
Yeah.
And he took me to the side and said, I've seen Yossi's video. It's right, he was kidnapped and he was killed. With Itai Svirsky, from Be'eri as well, and Noah Gamani that was with them, been released.
That must have been a really tough moment.
It was awful.
Your lovely
it was
brother. And he was
a
very
hammer on my
close
head.
because Yossi and his wife had 3 daughters who were
Yes.
very close with your girls.
Yes, Yossi arrived to Be'eri after me, and we've been together in Be'eri more than 20 years, and we had a great time together. We've done everything together. That was a very tough moment. And again, I just wanted to arrive to my family, to hold them, to hug them, and they will give me strength as well, about Yossi's loss and all this.
For those of us who were watching your handover, there was this unbelievably poignant moment because you said, when they said, what are you looking forward to? You said you were looking forward to seeing your wife and daughters.
Yes, it was
Do you
one.
think
What
that-
was one of the questions?
Yeah.
If it's intentionally, I don't know. I don't know how much maybe.
So you're handed over to the Red Cross, and very nice woman with a blonde bob says you are protected now, nothing
Yes.
will happen to you. And then you did break down, didn't you?
Felicity from New Zealand, that was from the Red Cross, I said we are protected now, and in 15 minutes we'll be in IDF hands. And then I met Leah, that approached me and said, I'm the social worker, and
Yeah.
Osnat, your sister, and
Yes,
your
she
mo-
said
your mother,
your mother and your sister will meet you.
yes, waiting for you in Reim base. And I said to her, please bring me Lianne, Noiya and Yahel. And she said, Osnat and your mother will tell you. And of course, you don't need to tell me anything. You already tell, you've told me exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I've cried a little bit. I didn't, it was a chance for this scenario all the time, for me, since October 7. But I didn't really want to believe that would happen.
No.
But again, I could get, could give my loss and my grief to cover me, to bury me, or just to find, a way to move on.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and there's nothing I can do. I'm a very practical man. I understand at the same moment after I'm finished to cry, that I can do nothing to bring back Lianne or Yahel and Noiya.
No.
Nothing. And so I just wanted to see my family. That gave me a lot of strength.
How do you play? Look, since October the 7th, thousands of people have been killed in Gaza, including women and children. Your wonderful wife and wonderful daughters lost their lives. So much suffering. And can you make any sense of it, Eli?
In my point of view, I'm talking just my private loss, and my sadness will be with me every moment of my life until my last day.
Yeah.
But it will be alongside of my life. It will not be instead of my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to rebuild my life. I love life. I have a circle of love around me. I have a great family and friends that fought for me for almost 500 days.
Yes.
I don't have the privilege to stay in bed and cry.
No.
I don't have the privilege to give up after all this, what they've done for me. So I'm very grateful. I feel very lucky to be alive and free.
You did, when you came out, with some psychologists. You had a lot of great support, as you said, for coming back to the living. You had been in a kind of weird, deathly state, and you came back to living, and you went to see Lianne and the girls' graves, and that, you said, was rock bottom, and from then on,
yes,
up.
I needed this closure, really, because I haven't been with my family in the day they buried them, so I needed for myself. I need to see where they're resting. I needed this moment for me, and after that, it's every phase you move after you release. It's a part of the healing, I think. So I needed that.
Do you talk to them?
When I'm visiting them, in the graveyard, I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
And
What do you say?
put some music and telling him about my life. And
I think they'd be very proud of you.
That's what I'm saying to them. I hope they are very proud. I miss them a lot.
I'm wondering, a year and 4 months as a hostage, how did that change Eli Sharabi? Are you a different person now?
It's a very good question. Well, I'm not in my comfort zone, that's for sure. I used to be a number person. I used to be a CFO of companies.
Yeah.
I never been interviewed or
No.
take photos and things like that.
You're a bit
And
of a celebrity. You're a bit of a celebrity now.
I don't like
Everyone.
this world. I don't like. Well, people know me.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Apparently, I was a part of their family for 16 months.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's very Israeli thing. Because of that, I love this, Israel so much, and the Israelis. But my life changed 180 degrees. Took a different way. Now that I'm on my own, I need to rebuild my life. I need a new start.
What's the best moment since you got out, do you think?
I'm getting very good comments on my book,
Yeah.
but especially from amazing autistic people that read my book, or people that haven't read book for all their life. It's their first book. That's amazed me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And people that didn't read for 15 or 20 years, and it's again, and they back to read because, and all these comments about my book, how affected people, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big privilege.
It's amazing that you've told it with such. There's brutal honesty, but also, as you say, it's very
uplifting.
It is uplifting. It is bizarrely, it is uplifting. So we have seen in the UK since October the 7th a big increase in anti-Semitism, horrible attacks on Jewish schools and homes and so on. And Britain is Lianne's country of birth. Israel was her home. We know you spent many happy holidays in the UK. What message would you want to send to British people watching this who see Israel as the bad guy in this situation?
First of all, please read about all the things and see all the facts that happened on October 7th. Facts, not stories that somebody told you. Second, I understand. You don't have to care about me. I'm an Israeli, no problem. But remember that Lianne, Noiya and Yahel, been slaughtered with their British passport on their hands.
Yeah.
That's it.
So 148 hostages have been returned alive to Israel, as you were, and many dead bodies have been returned, including the Bibas, Shiri and her baby boys, and Yardan Bibas, like you, lost his wife and 2 children, and 48 hostages still held in Gaza, including Allon and Yossi's body.
Yes.
So what are your hopes now that they can come out?
Yes, we're waiting for that. We really hope it will be over soon.
Yeah.
That all the hostages will be back home, all this war finish. Then Israel as a state and Israelis citizens can, start to heal from this trauma.
Yeah.
And
I think talking to people, everyone is exhausted.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
War is very bad. It's very exhausting,
Yes.
Um,
And for
situation.
people on the other side,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I hope it will finish soon. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for my brother that will have a grave to cry on, and I'm waiting for Alon, and I'm sure all the other hostages, families, waiting for their lovers, and
Yeah.
we need it to finish.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years' time, or can you not look that far ahead? What does
First
life
of all,
hold?
I hope I'll be come back to be anonymous. That's yes, I'm
Right.
really waiting for that.
Yes.
And that people will not recognize me, and have probably a kind of relationship,
You'd like to have a relationship.
Yes. Oh, that's for sure. When I say I choose life and I rebuild my life, it's including relationship that I will have for sure. I don't know what I will do, as occupation, but I really like teaching. So probably I will teach on my spare time kids mathematics.
Well,
That
I
will
think
be-
you could teach our motivation and resilience. Life lessons with Eli Sharabi is something I would sign up. You know, you have written this tremendous book, and it does fix that ordeal you and others lived through for all time. I do think it's an incredible testament to the strength of the human spirit, and you have done Lianne, Noiya, Yahel, and Yossi very proud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.